Excuse me.
Hell yeah! Who that, baby?
Let's hit that intro, y'all. Welcome to the Who Dat Weekly, everybody, where we finally got over the hump, y'all. We finally got that dub, baby. We finally got a victory against somebody. What a game, guys. What a game. The Saints finally won a game this season under the new leadership, under the new regime, you name it. It was ugly at first, but you know what? The Saints made some great adjustments, and they turned this thing around real quick. And I can't tell you how excited I am. What's up, Jerry? Who that, baby? Are you excited as I am? I gotta speak a little, not too close to the mic. It might get some static there. But man, what a game, guys! What a game! And let me tell you, they had me nervous for a minute because in that first half it was looking pretty ugly, and then I don't know what they did. Suddenly things started to click. We started making some plays that we need. That big touchdown throw to Rashid Shaheed by Spencer Rattler was a thing of beauty, y'all. Thing of beauty. I can't. Oh God! And then the defense started making some plays. Defense made life hell for Jackson Dart. And by the way, Jackson Dart, I'm really sorry, but screw you this weekend. But seriously, guys, the defense showed up when it mattered most. They made the plays. They made life difficult for Jackson Dart and the Giants. You could have asked for a game that not only was a must-win for the entire organization, but also for the fan base, and really for this team in general. This team has been dogging it for the last couple of weeks with the exception of the Seattle game. I can't tell you how much this game means a lot for this team. Kellen Moore finally got over the hump, got his first W. Spencer Rattler got over the hump. He got his first W despite losing the last 10 games. It was just a need. It was a major need for this organization that they finally get a victory. Has it been pretty? No, it has not. And I don't expect it to be pretty at all for us. There's going to be dumb mistakes. There's going to be bad plays. But you know what? This team finally knows what it's like to win. And hopefully, just hopefully, we might be able to build something off of that. I don't know for certain. But From a fan standpoint, that is what we're hoping at this point. We let's just start generating some wins if that's even remotely possible. But we'll take it one game at a time because we got the Patriots next, and they're okay-ish. Excuse me, for the most part. But other than that, what a hell of a game, guys. Let's just give let's give an applause, y'all. We'll give an applause to the New Orleans Saints today. They were the victors of this day. So, and let me tell you, it was needed. So, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the game analysis. Oh, by the way, hold up. Before I do that, but if you are an Ole Miss fan, sure, I'm calling out my own fan base here. If you're an Ole Miss fan that was also a Saints fan who bizarrely was rooting against the Saints because of Jackson Dart, I hope you eat this L, and I hope you eat this L well. Look, I love my Rebels, don't get me wrong. I love them to death, but when it comes to the Saints are my first priority, especially on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays occasionally, if that's ever the case. I don't give a damn which former Ole Miss players out there on the field. If you are going against my Saints, screw them to hell. Should be the same logic for everybody else. I don't give a crap. I really don't. I just don't, because and I've preached this all along. If you're not on the Saints, I don't give a damn about y'all. I'm sorry for my language, but that's how I feel about it. So if you are an Ole Miss fan that was as a Saints fan that's rooting against the Saints today, well, go to hell for one. And on top of that, I hope you eat this L nicely. I hope it's over well done and everything. So, hallelujah is right, Jerry. Amen to that. So, okay, got that out of my system. So, let's go ahead and get into the analysis. And in fact, I need to bring this. Oh, actually, it's right here. That's convenient. Okay, so give me a second, and I'm gonna load up the team stats and everything, so that way I can go over it and other things. So bear with me, guys. In fact, where is my thingabob? Let's see here. Is this it? This looks like it. Maybe. I don't know. In fact, let's click on this. Restart capture. There we go. All right. And transition. There we go. All right. So the Saints won 26-14, and it was a major victory for the New Orleans Saints, especially with how things have been so far this season. And let me tell you, we couldn't have asked for a rebound kind of a game, given how the season has gone. Even though we might be 4 games late with the rebound and everything, but still, it's a rebound nonetheless, because the Saints, while they were close last week against the Bills, they didn't finish the job. This time, they finished the job, and I couldn't be more proud. And this was a game where they could have just laid down and just take it from the Giants. No. In fact, the Giants pretty much outgained them in almost every statistical category. Wow, I said that 3 times fast. But the Saints were the victors, and I'm going to show y'all how they were the victors. So, as y'all can see, in first downs, the Giants outgained them by 5, 23-18. And then they were, actually, the Saints were a little more even. They had more of an edge with the third down efficiency. The Giants had more plays than us. They had 3 yards more than us. They had both sides had 10 equal drives. We outgained them by yards per play, and surprisingly, we outdid them in the passing. Okay, so maybe we had more of an edge than we thought. It's just a few certain categories. But here's the thing that really turned the tide for this team. It's the turnovers. Look how many turnovers the Saints got. The Saints got. We forced the Giants 5 turnovers. 3 of them were fumbles. All were lost. 1 of them returned for a touchdown, which was huge. And then 2 interceptions thrown. And they made life hell for Jackson Dart and the Giants. Especially in the second half, because this was all mainly the second half. I don't know what adjustments they did in the second half, but all I can say is they did a very good job. Sure, it was not pretty. Sure, there were moments where oh, here we go again. Giants are driving down the field too easily. No, the Saints defense stepped up, made huge turnovers, and that's essentially what won us the game. So, the offense was okay for the most part, and hold up, I got to rant about Groupie again. You guys already know I don't like Groupie to begin with, so, can we please kick out Groupie at this point, because it is pitiful. Seriously. Groupie is becoming more useless by the week. Can we please find another kicker, for Pete's sake? Because, every week he has missed a field goal except for last week. Where last week it looked like, okay, maybe he's finally turned the corner. I think he made all his kicks last week. But no, this is now 4 out of 5 games where he missed a field goal. And today he missed 2. That's 6 points you're losing out of that. Come on, man. At some point we have to do something about the kicker position. And let me throw in the punter too. The punter wasn't that good either. The punter had some very questionable punts, especially late in the in the third quarter. He made some terrible punts, like where one punt was like it was skyrocket, but it was caught at the 40-yard line. Like, you can't have punts like that, man. You really can't. Like, it makes me think that we don't have a solidified punter at this point. But enough about that. Enough about the negative stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff. Like, I already mentioned the turnovers. I would say for the offense, despite the rough start in the first quarter. Cat, would you please go away? I'm sorry, my cat is trying to get up here. I would say in the first quarter it was looking bad. I was getting a little upset because I was looking at the Giants. They were looking really good on the Jackson Dart initially. And I started thinking, did the Saints screw up again with drafting a player that they should have drafted? Was not the case today, thank God. So they actually made up for it for the victory. And let me tell you, it felt good to take down a player that I've been rooting for a long time. I've been rooting for him for Jackson Dart for all 3 years at Ole Miss, and it felt good that we took him down today, because I've been seeing a lot of chatter, especially mainly on Facebook and some on Instagram, where everyone's saying, "Oh, the Saints screwed up. They should have gotten Jackson Dart," and Jackson Dart himself said that the Saints screwed up and that he had a bone to pick. And that fired me up. It's like, look, I love you, Jackson Dart. I always will. But at the same time, you're talking bad about my Saints? Oh, no. We ain't having that. No. I was hoping the Saints would kick his little butt all day long. And guess what? We did in the end. Sure, the score's a little close, but, they still did technically with all the turnovers that we forced on him. So we made life miserable for him, and I couldn't be happy for that. So, and let's give a little shout out to Spencer Rattler. Let's give a hand of applause, y'all. Shout out to Spencer Rattler getting his first W today. Let me tell you, he's been working so hard these last 4 or 5 weeks, and I bet he feels so good right now that he finally got over the hump. And on top of that, he had probably his best game yet this season. Literally. Like, he had 244 passing yards all day. 225, but he was 20 for 30 and 1 touchdown, which is so much better than what he's been doing the last couple weeks. So, it was so nice to see Taysom Hill back out there too. But I'll talk about him later. But let's let Spencer Rattler finally getting over the hump and getting the victory, and he balled out today, and he made a huge throw to Rashid Shaheed. That was a huge game changer right there. Let me tell you that much. So, feels good to get a victory today, y'all. It felt good today. And also, all my fantasy teams are winning, so it's a really good day today. So, but yeah, I also want to bring up Kendre Miller again, because this is the second week in a row where I noticed that the Saints utilized him more than they did with Alvin Kamara. I'm starting to notice a trend. Like, they're starting to bring in Kendre Miller more in games than they are with Alvin Kamara. Now, why is that? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but it is noticeable. And one thing I noticed about Miller is that he runs hard. He's a hard running back to take down. And there were multiple plays where he would get 5+ yards, and there was one play where he got 11 yards straight as he's plowing through that Giants defense that I literally the other day I was just giving him all the praise for being a really tough defense, an underrated one too. But the fact that his total stats for the day was 10 carries for 41 yards. It may not sound like much, but as you watch his game, you saw that he played really well today. And as you compare that to Alvin Kamara, it just makes me wonder, what are the Saints planning on doing with Kamara? They're not exactly utilizing him that much. I don't know what their plans are, but if their plans are to use Miller more in the run game than the passing game, I can kind of make sense of that. But the fact that he went ghost in pretty much the entire fourth quarter, I noticed, it makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes. But I guess that's a tale for another day. So, the reason why I bring this up is because Nick Underhill the other day mentioned that the Saints were open to trading some of their veteran players if an offer was to be made. So it I don't know if that's going to be the case. I sure hope not, because Kamara would love to retire as a Saint. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually did consider it. Maybe that him not playing a majority of the second half played a factor into that. Good. That could be just me doing a hot take and everything. So we'll see what happens in due time. So, but yeah. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. What are y'all's thoughts about today's game? Really, like what are some things you saw that were improvements? What are some things you saw that still need improvement? I still think the penalties still need to be cleaned up a little more. I would say today wasn't as bad compared to previous weeks. Not counting last week, of course, where we had like 4 penalties altogether. But as y'all can see here, Saints had 7 all day, which isn't terrible. That's pretty good for this team. Giants had more penalties as well. 1 more, actually. So I still think we need to get that cleaned up for the most part, but because it really is noticeable. When you get those penalties cleaned up, you're going to start noticing you're going to win some games that way. Sure, some bad plays might happen here and there. That's natural. But at the same time, if you clean up the penalties, you can definitely win games. That's proven science, football science right there. So, yeah. So let me think what else happened this game that is worth mentioning. I think that's about it for the time being, folks. But again, if you know a Giants fan that was talking a lot of trash, make sure you remind them who the Ants are. Because they got stepped on by the New Orleans Saints, baby. Let's go, y'all. Who dat, baby? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll have more videos coming up this week coming up. Probably some more shorts as well. I'm trying to keep up with my shorts content because they do draw on a lot of numbers, surprisingly. So, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will catch you guys next time. Enjoy this victory day, y'all. And it's going to be so nice to enjoy a victory Monday. Especially if the Falcons lose as well. That's just going to be extra. Alrighty, gang. Talk to you guys later. Who dat, baby?